Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Pathfinder Kingmaker. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we are dealing with insurrection. We're just dealing with insurrection. We're also supporting the Curator's endeavors, and now we're at rank 4 for culture, which is nice. I really am not focusing on some of the stuff that I probably should be focusing, and we're not actually ranking up some of the stuff that I probably should be ranking up, but we'll see. We got a mental, or rather a triumph here on the mental dexterity, because they were they were basically doing trying to pretend that their copper coins were gold. The treasurer assigned specially trained money changers to the markets to detect the illusions. She also instructed them to pass along their knowledge of the merchants and shopkeepers. Now even Shoeshine in the kingdom knows how to check coins. That is a good result right there. Educating the people, and now they don't think copper is gold. Which you'd think that they didn't, but anyway. The druids guided by the disrupted harmony thing. Let's see what this is all about, because apparently, I don't know what we're sent to fix, but the druids guided by the high priest significantly altered the landscape surrounding the settlement and its architecture. The architecture of the landscape. This has already been a blessing for the harvest and has lifted the people's souls, making them happier and more cheerful. For a bunch of bonuses there. Really happy about that. However, we didn't finish other stuff, but that's fine, because we need to finish this. Canara, go there and murder them or something. Because Sirius only has a 15% and I don't want to use a crisis point. A crisis point. We also have 4 new things. Craftsman Strike. Oh, this one where break strikes. Canara, you don't do that. This one, former friends. Many of Brevoy's patriots dislike the fact that these lands have become an independent state. That is some level of patriotism right there. I mean, I do realize the vast number of the world's patriots dislike other nations. That's part of many people's patriotism. There's many reasons why that would be, but because it depends on many things. Just disliking that, I hate that land over there should be nobody's, and now it's not. Oof, and I mean, what do we expect, really? What do we expect? They're spreading rumors and advocating against the queen. They insist that these lands are governed by a criminal, which is possible if you have international treaties, because you know there's treaties that you need to abide to if you sign them, and then if you don't, then you're a criminal, and there are indeed lands that are governed by criminals, but that's only in the context of international treaties and not in medieval times, because that's, I mean, actually in medieval times there were also international treaties, what am I saying, but just not the same ones that we have over right now, and they were all criminals as well, because they were basically tyrants, all of them. Anyway, whose regime must be overthrown and whose lands should be reclaimed by Brevoy? Oh wait, this was Brevoy's land. I'm very sorry. No, I'm not sorry for taking their lands, because I am the queen and I will act as such. But, I forgot. These statements are undermining the kingdom's legitimacy, casting it as a criminal domain. Rumble about what defines criminality. When is this going to be done, though? Oh, you have plenty of time to deal with that. Fantastic. Former friends. Oh, I forgot about who Brevoy is. Rats everywhere. Lovely times. Everybody loves rats. That's 65. Not that great. But I can send Canara everywhere, can I? Oh, well. And then the curator needs my help. Because, of course, he's rank 4. Of course he needs my help. Greetings, your highness. Something curious happened yesterday. During my evening promenade, I met a young man. His name is Larzio Messus, a young composer from Absalom. He told me that he left his hometown in the search of inspiration. He is astonished by the story of your ascension to the throne, your highness, so impressed in fact that he is determined to compose an opera about it. He's asked for permission to live and work in the palace, so he might draw your character from real life. Nevertheless, I think we should say no. Art must be free. Art must be free. I'm in the sense of what? Free as in speech? Because, you know, free speech, I'm not telling him to... Are you worried that he Are you really arguing that he shouldn't leave here for free? Because that's like, because that's a weird choice of words, or that word over there anyway. Because if he's arguing that he shouldn't leave here for free, in sort of because leaving here for free would sort of undermine the legitimacy of his portrayal of my life, because he was my guest, and all that sort of stuff. You know how it is, because just eating here in the palace for a bunch of time, and then all of a sudden he writes good things about me, because of course he's gonna write good things about me unless he's a liar. But the point is, he writes good things about me, and everybody's gonna be like, nah, that's just bollocks, because he was just leaving there, and then now he because he undermines his legitimacy. But saying that he shouldn't leave here for free because art must be free is weird on more than one level. Also, I didn't realize we were talking about art. Oh yeah, it's an opera. Yes, it is art, of course. But let's see where he goes with that. Leaving here will make him feel obligated to us. Yes, it was a weird choice of words, which is good, because I saw other possibilities that were even weirder. Seeing your everyday, he'll lose the dispassionate distance that every artist needs to see his subjects clearly. You know what, storyteller? You have the best ideas. I'll get to why you have the best ideas in a little bit. Let me read your paragraph. He will hardly understand the virtue of your decision now, but this freedom will do him much good. A flower grown in a greenhouse will wither and perish at the first sign of cold. A weed on the roadside will stand firm through drought and a storm, whatever trial it faces. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of your comparison, or actually metaphor in this case, but yeah. That is gonna minus build points, -1 build point per week to grant this composer. Man, this guy eats up our things. But yeah, well, I'm gonna go with him. And the reason why that's a great idea, I thought maybe, but it isn't, is that not only would I get myself a sweet opera written about me, I would also get paid in the process. Because I was gonna be like, you can't live here for free, you must pay. But apparently that paying actually is fair and balanced, so we don't actually lose anything. Make your own decision. I don't understand what the options there were. Thank you for your trust, Your Highness. In due time, we'll see the positive effects that freedom may have... That's not free! You're actually paying! That's not freedom, you idiot! My god. May have an artist on his own create... Oh, my crap. That's not... no. Also, never mind the fact that the greatest works of arts are written in times of oppression and just complete misery for the artists themselves, or just generally the population. Just never mind that. No. Yeah, art is good when people are like fat and good and nice. That's what they are. That's what it is. Alex Covernorb is over here. Bronevok. No, that's not a... Yeah, that's not it. Anyway, an exquisitely dressed man flips the pinned cape off his shoulder and bows deeply.
Greetings, Your Highness. My name is Alex Kovanob. I traveled a difficult road from Andoran just to meet you in person.
Alex shows you a heavy folder full of papers.
I am the official representative of the family bank called Heritage and Honor. It is based in Augustana, but we do business well beyond the borders of Andoran. I'd like to open an office of our bank in your capital.
Hang this man. Where's the option to hang this man? Where's the option? If there's anything less chaotic neutral, it's banks. It's what they are. It's the opposite of chaotic neutralness. Actually, it's the opposite of chaotic goodness, but that depends on the setting, I suppose. A little bit, maybe. I can't hang this person, but never mind the not being able to hang this person, I can't even say no. So I like to know more, apparently, because that's definitely what you tell to people who are trying to sell you something, especially bank people.
Absolutely. However,
Alex weighs his folder thoughtfully.
I don't wish to bother you with boring figures and terminology. I'd rather hand the papers to your treasurer, who can confirm everything I say. Please ask about my concerns, and you may have any concerns that you may have.
I think that my treasurer is going to hang you as well herself. I think that's what's going to happen. That's all I need to know.
I hope you've liked what you've heard.
Actually, that's a different... Oh, interesting. So that whole nonsense about giving the papers to my treasurer. That's not really what he's saying. He's just gonna tell me what I want to know. Why my kingdom? Alex eyes you for a few seconds before answering. If you think I have made a random choice, perhaps you should think again. I have put much effort into making sure you're following my people's principles. I don't mean doctrine or legislation. I definitely don't know what you mean, considering you're a banker from, what was it? Andoran, right. And you say, my people. I don't know if he's saying the people of his family, the people of his work area, or the people of his country. I mean human values, which my country got through our revolution, and which we strive to preserve, whatever it takes. Honor, nobility, equality, all these notions will excuse me, all these notions fit with your kingdom very well. A family bank, you say? The bank was founded by my father, a respected man, a wise accountant, and a perspicacious businessman. Father let me take over the business. Now that he is resting on his laurels, he didn't merely raise my sisters and me, he passed on his spirit of enterprise, a gift I will never be able to repay. Now, I realize this game doesn't like referring to my father as my father, and I don't know why. I suppose maybe it's a translation error or something like that. But it might not be a translation error. I think it is. But if it isn't, he is being depicted as a childish person. Because it's not only childish people that do that, but it does you do come across as childish if you refer to your father as things like daddy or even father, which is a very just referring to your father as father it comes across as a familiar term. It's like you're within family and you say that because that's how you talk about your father when you're in family, and specifically when you're talking to your family. That's how I do it anyway, and that's how English does. That's how English speaking people work. But I do find that as well. I do see that as well happen to some people, referring, especially kids do that a lot. Basically, that's why I say it's childish. Kids don't know those boundaries well enough, and then whenever they talk to people outside their family and refer to their fathers or their parents, I say father, but whatever, their parents as father or mother or whatever, instead of my father or my mother, that just denotes that lack of knowledge of the familiarity. But because this is just a simple pronoun, which is the my here, actually, I don't know if that's pronoun in English. I don't know what the category or of word that is, but it doesn't matter. Because it's just a simple word, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure there's either a, I'm pretty sure there's a language barrier here, because of course this was written by a Russian-speaking writer. And I think there's a language barrier here that Russian speakers might be able to elucidate me in the comments. So thank you in advance for that. But he just comes across as childish, which just serves to further my point about hang this person right now, because hang all the childish people. No, that's not the reason. But anyway, tell me about Andoran. Yeah, tell me about this. The banker rubs his chin. In a nutshell, Your Highness, it's my motherland. It's where I grew up and learned the principles that I lived up to even today. It's a beautiful country, always happy to welcome good travelers. It offers many opportunities for a hard-working person. I'm sure a banker would say that. I'm sure. I'm very sure. Also, good travelers. I'm sure I know exactly what constitutes a good traveler, sir. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I know exactly what it is. If I remember correctly, Andoran was once a colony of Sheliaks. And by a colony, you mean... What do you mean by a there's an English word for what this is. A colony works, a colony, you can say a colony is an intrusion on other people's territory. Oh, and not necessarily intrusion, but rather, just a bit that you take away from other people's territory. That's what colony means. In English and in Latin, because colony comes from Latin. That's how it's used. That's used in agriculture a lot to mean that as well. It's sort of it implies things like isolation from the rest and just this differentiation. If you say just as a vassal isn't a colony necessarily, although it can be. In a colony can be self-entitled as well and still be a colony. Or self-entitled, what's the word? Like self-ruled and whatnot. But there's another word. There's a word in English specifically that I'm forgetting that denotes this vassalhood, this sort of like, and like, because imagine Andorran, especially because we're talking once a colony. Imagine if Andorran was a country, normal country, the people of Andorran there, and it's like, and then in comes Shellyax and just, now you're my vassals. You know, vassal is a word that can be used to describe, but then they stop being vassals after a while because they rebel or whatever. But you know what I mean? I think that's what's being, excuse me, that's what's being said over here. Unless we're just living in the colonial age, which is a very specific time of world history in the real world, and has no precedent here in the setting of whatsoever, because unless we know where Andorran is, let's learn if it is like, because it could be like in hell or something, and then it would make sense for it to be a colony. But anyway, Andorran is a nation of the people, governed by the principles of common rule. I don't know what that is. Maybe a mistranslation, because it's capital C and capital L. It's like principles of rule of law. That's a thing that we know what it is. Well, I say we know what it is. Many people like to say it's other thing. Rule of law is just basically all under one law, and everybody is subject to the same law. That's in opposition to, you know, despots and tyrants. That you instead of having kings, you have the rule of law. That's just how it works. Which grant every citizen the voice. Yeah, common rule. That's basically rule of law. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe that's common rule. Is that like Republica? Is that the translation to Republica? Because Republica means the public rule, which means that it doesn't mean democracy. It means that the ruling is made public, or made publicly. Although, of course, through the years, the words change and things change and all that sort of stuff. But the original meaning was supposed to be that. Andorran holds the reins of its own destiny in the strong hands of its people. It considers itself the birthplace of freedom. Yeah, there's nothing here saying that they don't have slaves. They don't exploit their people. They're not like super scum. And honestly, it was part of Taldor before, he says. What is this? The mighty empire of Taldor once stretched from the Arcadian Ocean to the border of the province. Province is a word that you could say. Province of Shellyax. Oh, this is in a reply. I didn't even read this, did I? Yeah, this is the reply. It was part of Taldor before. Yes, Andorran kept changing rulers over the centuries. Luckily, the people managed to break the cycle and opted for independence. Revolution brought us new problems, but at the same time, a unique social order. Yes, that is the revolution that I was talking about. What is this lifestyle? He says, with all due respect, Your Highness, the very essence of the modern governance in Avistan is wrong. It allows some to rise above the others. Wait, who are we talking about here, right now? What exact? His homeland. Andorran. Avistan. Oh. Yeah. Sigh. Anyway, what's the problem with this thing? Immediately, what was I gonna say, and why shouldn't I? Why I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it so you can understand my confusion with this text. He's specifically saying that the world, the modern of the governance of in general of the world. That's what Avistan means. As far as I can tell, it's a continent, but whatever. It's wrong because it allows some to rise above the others, to force their will upon them to determine their fate. In the same conversation, he says that hardworking people are offered many opportunities, which sort of implies a sort of upward mobility in their structure to people who work hard. And apparently, he doesn't see the contradiction in saying that the world allows for that when he says that it's good that it allows for that as well in him. But that's not what it is. This is a subtext to real world. This is all stand-in to real world things. So what he's saying here is that that Avistan generally has people being part of the nobility that are indeed forcing their will upon those underneath them. So what he wants to have happen is that the people with money rise above them, and by hardworking people. That's what it's a stand-in for. People who have money get the many opportunities, and then they get to rise above the others and force their will upon them to determine their fate. And that's how it should be. It's the good travelers, you see. So that's what he's referring to. I don't know why I took it seriously, but this is not. It doesn't work. It doesn't work in the setting, basically, because it's internally inconsistent. Let's just see where it goes anyway, and see if it does continue being internally inconsistent. It allows some to rise, but yeah, Andoran is free from such tyranny, he says. It's not the king or the emperor who rules the country. It's the people, the hardworking people and good travelers. The People's Council runs the country. It consists of 350 advisors elected by the citizens. Among them are former aristocrats and regular craftsmen, wealthy merchants, and respected mayors. And you can see already where what I was saying is applied right there. The People's Council appoints the supreme elect, the official head of the state, along with ministers, governors, and advisors. There are no privileges or patronage, even though you just said all of those. Everyone gets what they deserve, which is also privilege. You know, because if freedom well, I say freedom, but I probably shouldn't say it because this game doesn't like using that word in the proper historical context, or actually use it properly. Let's put it like that. Not privilege, I suppose rights. Rights is a good word. Yes, rights. Rights that are not extended to everybody, including those that don't deserve it, are privileges. So, if you have rights that are only of some people, those are not rights, those are privileges. So, there are no privileges. Yes, there are. You just said it immediately. Everyone gets what they deserve. No, those are privileges. That's what it is. That's what it is. But tell me about these opportunities you mentioned, and let's just see him dig his hole further. Do you know how our family became bankers and took our place in society? We didn't possess titles or family heirlooms. Hopefully family heirlooms here doesn't include money, because that's otherwise that would sort of deconstruct what he's saying. No, he didn't possess titles because there are no such things in your land also. My grandfather worked as an ordinary falconer for the rich aristocracy, but we had fire running through our veins. We decided to take a crazy risk and invested in our own business with the money that we had, that we didn't consider family heirlooms, because of course it wasn't. As you can see, it paid off. Yes, I do know exactly. I do see that. I saw it coming before you said it, as how the ones with money get what they deserve, apparently. If you roll up your sleeve, and that's why I said that it is just a stand-in for real world, I say real world as in our world, for real world politics, and it doesn't work because it doesn't work in the setting because it's internally inconsistent. He wouldn't say any of this unless he were trying to speak to us as viewers, and we can see through his crap, can't we? If you roll up your sleeves, and by that I mean use the money that your grandfather had, and get to work and earn a good reputation, you can do anything, he says, with a privilege that he has that I referred to already. And Doran appreciates the noble and bold of spirit. It's very interesting, but I'd like to go over the other issues. As in, why can't I just order you hung? Because, is it hung or hanged? I think hanging has different... It's hanged, I think. Because the conjugation of the verb changes. If it is like hanging as a... hanging a criminal, or if it is hanging as hanging a like a portrait or something. I think it's hanged. I want you hanged. That's what I said right at the beginning. Oh, look at that. Well, at least it's using some words that are in reference to real world. Well, I guess propaganda is just a general thing, but it does fit in the whole thing about how this is just a stand-in for real world parties. Not parties as in, but like, politics or whatever. I don't like you or your Andorran propaganda. Take yourself from my lens. Alex turns pale. I am afraid you misunderstood my words, Your Highness. I may sing the praises of my motherland, but Abadar forbid if I ever engage in cheap propaganda. No, it's very expensive propaganda. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to demean your propaganda. It's a very good propaganda. It works very, very well on a lot of many people, I'm sure, and I do know. But no, it is not cheap. I will not trouble you with my presence any further, but please allow me to leave these papers with one of your advisors. I hope you will consider all the benefits after your temper settles. The man bows politely. And we have more people coming in. Nazriel, what is up? Give me the things. Thanks, bye. Those happen a lot, and I like it. I do wonder what exactly that paper business means. Improving cultural development. Yeah, those don't matter. We can't build the buildings anyway. We have a rank up over here, a new rank up for the curator. I suppose that's good. Okay, it's pretty good. We have a few rank ups. Rank ups. Craftsman's strike over here. Yeah. Former friend, but I would need to pay a lot of money, so let's not do that. And that's basically what we're gonna do. 100% here for brazen thieves, and rats everywhere. I probably should spend 1 point over here. +3 to stability on success or triumph. So the triumph, we don't know. I don't know what DC 20 plus 21. I think the 21 is the triumph. So can we never triumph, or is a DC 21 for the triumph? Is that what it is? Also, it's D20. Nah, right. It's not DC 20. DC 24 is the actual DC difficulty class, and then we're rolling a D20 plus 21, which is the bonus that we have. And we got a +5 for every one of these. Sounds good to me. Off with you. Oh, look at that! The X went away. Oh, they fixed it. Did they fix it? Good for them and me. Mostly me. Let's support some stuff. So we have espionage. We have divine. That's probably a good one. High one that we have, and also the curator's endeavors. Let's go with the divine over here. Save the game just in case, because I think we might have something there that we spent a bunch of crisis points on, and I really don't want to have fail. Let's see. Support the High Priest's endeavors for rank 6. Balance. After the public debates, the priestesses lost all support among the peasants, because that's how it works. Without hesitation, she admitted that balance was more important than the lives and happiness of the people. And curiously enough, the people actually saw through their crap, which is not actually usually what happens, considering that, you know, how many people get radicalized into religion. It being like, your life is not as important as whatever this religion's priority is. Like, for example, being cleansed of sin, for example, which is just a sin. I think it works for any religion. I'm not really sure how it works in English specifically. It works for any religion, right? You can say anything is a sin in any religion, right? That's the thing. Maybe, I don't know. Ancient tradition, triumph. The regent arrived at the festival, driving a cart full of wine and treats. She offered the first cup to a respected local witch doctor, who in turn predicted 100 years of peace and prosperity for the kingdom. The thieves, the treasurer, offered to generously reward anyone who turned in the thieves. Informers found the sum tempting, and the thieves were quickly caught. And by quickly caught, I mean we got a bunch of will points that apparently they never stole. That's not how reality exists. But anyway, the law of the pike. The Hell Knights from Fort Inevitable, which is ruled by the Order of the Pike, are invading the region to bring it to heel. They're they're conducting judgments and executing people however they see fit. This is absolutely unacceptable. Yes, how dare they do the thing that I do, probably because this game forces me to do that sort of stuff, and indeed I do. Because you know, how dare they? Because it's my lands. The Hell Knights were buried under a mountain of complaints and letters sent by the counselor. What the fuck? That's how you fight the Hell Knights. Send them a bunch of harsh worded letters. There was nothing left but recall their dogs, as well as pay a significant amount in compensation. And by that significant amount is we didn't actually get anything. Boy, what the hell? Anyway. Why are you here? I think I know why. There was the X. It's still broken, but at least the X's show up. Lindsay is terrified. Good for her. That at least shows that she has good sense. Maybe. Anyway, Craftsman Strike. So, Cannon Ram maybe does that. 100%. Sounds good to me. And then... I like how it gives plus economy, but it definitely doesn't take away from, like, well-being, social, or loyalty, or anything. No, it's just fine. It's just, you know, yeah, we're gonna murder the craft. Also, it's that nonsense thing about how apparently the craftsmen don't own their workshops. It's the bankers. We have the bankers. I keep telling you. Anyway. Former friends, what is the... Oh, no, this is for... No, Lindsay might be able to do it. That's 14 days. That's a lot to days. This is a lot of days as well. This gives the same. Yeah, Lindsay's gonna do this one. And we do both of them. Yeah. I don't know what the downsides are. And Lindsay is terrified, so maybe she's gonna need something else. Or to do something else. None of my advisors are working. It's like, there's just 3 of them right now doing things. I mean, +2. Still, I have a lot of them. So let's go to the throne room. Let's also save the game before that happens, just in case, and see what Lindsay has to say today. Lindsay's eyes glitter and her nostrils flare with rage, but for some reason she speaks in a whisper. Such insolence, such unforgettable, monstrous, and unimaginable insolence. What happened, Lindsay? The throne, the royal throne, Lindsay stops whispering and silently points her finger to the far side of the throne room. You raise your eyes. The place where the royal throne once stood in is now empty. This is unexpected. I'm surprised by your self-control. Sure. Because I definitely didn't give you... I definitely gave you reason to be surprised, is what I mean. If I were you, I'd go on a rampage. Shameless scum. How could they go and rob the royal palace with the queen still alive and well? What do you mean, still alive and well, Lindsay? Are you planning on killing me? What the heck? What? It's like she's planning on killing me and then her accomplices actually rob the palace? I don't even know why she says that. Anyway, in fact, our case is blatant and extraordinary, but hardly exceptional. Word on the streets is that the local population has become sick and tired of thieves. They break into people's homes, bypass the locks and latches, and steal everything they can. And now the scum has the guts to meddle with royal property? We need to sort this out before they steal the whole kingdom one brick at a time, and we need to get back your throne. It's shameful. Lindsay regains control of herself and continues in a low whisper. I really hope your people here won't go wagging their tongues and spread filthy rumors. Yeah, we wouldn't want the rumors. The biggest threat in this game. The end boss is gonna be the biggest rumor you've ever seen. In your opinion, Lindsay, and let's just put this very clearly front and center, it is your opinion, where should I begin this investigation? You should start with interrogation potential witnesses. I think the captain of the guard was in the palace when it happened. He was the one who discovered the throne was missing, at least. Then you should go to the city. I heard the smith was robbed recently, too. Maybe he can give you some clues? Also, if I were you, I'd talk to the trader. He might have some hints as to who may be selling stolen goods. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to visit the innkeeper. Who better to glean information from any troubled locals finding themselves in need of a shoulder to cry on? That's a good call, actually. So we need to go to the captain of the guard, the smith, the trader. I need to write this down because I don't think the game is gonna tell me of the guard, or maybe it is, but anyway, because she's going into too much detail for the game to actually tell me later. Although I have been playing Oblivion, so maybe I'm being suspicious here. Because Oblivion doesn't have the best track record when it comes to this. So, the trader, because we have only the one, as we know, and the innkeeper. The innkeeper is definitely the one that I would think to go to by myself. Time to get going. I'm not gonna be upset. What the heck do I even need the throne for? Anyway, unspeakable. Apparently my journal... Oh, it's Lindsay. My journal is Lindsay, so that's why she's very upset. Do we gain things? Weren't there 2 things to do? I thought there were 2 things to do. Lindsay's terrified. That is one way of describing what that was. To the throne room. I knew there was another one. I don't know why it didn't show up. Maybe because we weren't in there. And of course I'm sitting. I hope I'm not sitting on air. I think I'm sitting on a little bench. Why? Why? Gilladel, the chronicles will remember you as a great queen, not a mere baroness. But even if you were an empress, you would still be wise to seek divine support. 4 influential priests have arrived at your court to plead for a temple honoring their gods. Each wishes for your kingdom to prosper under the blessings of their god. We must choose between Caden, Ibadar, Gorum, and Asmodeus. I advise you to consider Gorum. His road to the end of things is at least simple and direct. I will choose the one that is chaotic neutral, because yeah. Caden, Kalen, the god of alcohol, bravery, and freedom, is one of the... I don't know. Alcohol, bravery, and freedom. That doesn't sound like a thing I would like. God of cities, law... Nope. Gorum, known as the Lord in Iron, is a god of battle above all other pursuits. It's said that he would rust away into nothingness if there's ever a time with no more conflicts to be fought. That doesn't sound like a thing very different from any other god. Because, you know, if they're made of iron, they probably will rust away into nothingness. Irrespective of whether there's conflicts or not. His faithful believe he is... and that sounds... I think that's lawful good. Or lawful neutral. Asmodeus, the king of hell. Prince of law. Sounds like a bedtime. Anyway, this probably tells us something. No, it does not. Let's go with the drunk god. Let's see. Tell me about the gods. It is no coincidence that Caden's nickname is the Accidental God. That sounds good. He was a mortal in a deathly drunk mortal. When he became a god, he doesn't even remember how it happened. Under Caden, your subjects will live happily but senselessly, spending their time in feasts and fairs. That's not senseless. That's art and joy and good. Oh, is it that hedonistic god that they keep complaining about? Anyway, Abadar is the patron of cities and trade. He is there where civilization flourishes, and he detests chaos and destruction. I need hear nothing else. Gorum is a cruel and bloodthirsty warrior, as are his followers. He is the god of war. He is worshipped by orcs and barbarians, but he has quite a few followers among the civilized as well. Asmodeus is Lord of Hell. He's the archdevil worshipped by the powerful state of Cheliax. Asmodeus believes in power, compacts, order, and the obedience of the inferior. His craft... Oh, just like that banker that I was talking about before. Because that's basically... That's literal... That is right there. He's crafty but not deceitful. You should read the contract very carefully if you choose him. So, I think I'm going to go with the Drunk God, although Gorum makes a good case for himself. I just don't like Karim, so I'm not going to go with it. Caden, then. The Drunken Hero. The one who hopes to drink himself into oblivion rather than face the inevitable end that comes even for him. I disapprove of your decision, but I will not oppose you on this. Because you can't. You literally cannot. What did we... That didn't do anything. That just allowed us to make the temple, right? Which we now have to make... Oh. We have a rank up. A new rank up. Probably divine. 157. Yeah, it is divine. I just don't fully understand where the limits go over. Divine protection from fear. That is what a drunk god would give you. Provides immunity to fear effects in the regions in the claimed regions. That's a lovely thing. That's a lovely thing. So, you're going to be there. Although I would like... How long does that last? 20 days. That is a tremendous amount of money, time. So, you're going to do that. You're going to do a little bit of that. Because we have to. Just have to invest those points. So, we could do that. Or, we could just... support the High Priest's endeavors and just leave that for later. No, I'm not gonna do that because we need to go into side missions pretty soon. So let's support somebody else. Espionage over here, that's a possibility. Okay, yeah. Over here it's Sana. Ooh, for loyalty, that's proper. That's a lot. I have Valerie over here for community. Military, yeah, she's busy right now. Storyteller for culture. Divine, you're gonna be busy. Yep, we got our objective over here. We also have the end of the episode, so we're gonna do that not in between episodes, in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Pathfinder Kingmaker. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.